lifeboat inspection. So lifeboat inspection I have divided into three parts. So the first part is lifeboat equipments and fittings, and the second part will be lifeboat davits, launching and recovery arrangements, and the third part will be engines, batteries and lightings. So I have divided this inspection routine into three parts, and in each part we will go into extremely detail, and we will be learning about what all inspection and what all things we need to check while doing a lifeboat inspection. So since this video is going to be very long, but it will be a very important video and it will be very informative video, so please watch till the end. So in this video I will be covering the first part of this inspection, that is lifeboat equipments and fittings, and the rest I will cover in another video. So in this video we will be only focusing on lifeboat equipments and fittings, and it will be a very informative video, so please keep on watching. So here we start with lifeboat equipments and fittings. So the first inspection will be monthly inspection. Weekly inspection is there for this lifeboat davits, launching and recovery arrangements, and this section, that is engines. We have to try out engines, and as well as moving from storage position. That will be done weekly, so that will be covered in this part. So I'll be covering whatever is applicable to lifeboat equipments and fittings. So here I start. In this we have monthly inspection. So the first thing we will check in monthly inspection in lifeboat is lifeboat markings. So lifeboat markings play a very important role. So let us see what all checks we need to see. So the first marking we will see is this kind of plate. This is a certificate of approval. So this is what plate is need to be there inside your lifeboat. So somewhat which contains the name of the product, that is lifeboat or rescue boat, then model, type, serial number, maximum number of persons and their weight, and the max weight with persons it can carry, then date of manufacture and approval details, and it should be inspected by so and so class. So this is the certificate of approval. So second thing which we will see is the markings on the lifeboat hull. Now first we saw the certificate of approval. Now if it is a free fall lifeboat, then in the certificate of approval there should also be free fall certification height, that should be mentioned, and the required launching ramp length, that also should be mentioned in the certificate of approval plate. But since this was of lifeboat, which is a side lifeboat, thus it is not mentioned here. So if it is a free fall lifeboat, three things additional we will see. First thing is free fall certification height, second is required launching ramp length, and third thing, the launching ramp angle for free fall certification height. So this should be there, and always make sure that this plate is not painted over. So first was that. Now second is the markings on the hull. So as you can see here, the number of lifeboat, the call sign which should be visible from the top in block letters. Then on the side you will see the lifeboat dimension, then the number of lifeboat, whether it is number 1 or number 2. Similarly the number of persons which it is designated to carry. Then the name of the ship, as you can see here, and the flag of registry. So these markings are very important in lifeboat. Make sure that they are never faded. Now other than these markings, we have these markings where inside the lifeboat we have a food tank. So this should be marked so that we easily come to know that food is kept inside this locker. Similarly the other equipments, then the location of air valve and the location of drain valve, all this should be marked. Other markings also include the markings, that is lifeboat launching procedure, which should be posted near to the lifeboat under the emergency light. I have purposefully kept this light, this picture, to make sure you see that this light is there below this procedure is posted below this light. So this is very important. And other than that marking, the wire renewal date should also be posted or marked or stenciled near the lifeboat. So as you can see here, wire renewed. And other than that, the markings for starting of engines and the procedure for starting of engine in cold conditions, and all the procedure which are related to the lifeboat. So that should be all posted here inside the lifeboat. So after other markings, we have to also make sure that the LSA FFA symbols which are posted, like this release hooks and starting of engine, all this poster should be well strict, and no fading of this should be there. The third monthly inspection will be of fitting of the retroreflective tape. So we will check thoroughly the retroreflective tape. They should not be faded, or the glue should not come out. Then from the top area and the bottom area, you can see here. So now this retroreflective tape, this has a requirement that they should cover an area of minimum 150 centimeter square. This is one retroreflective tape. So here the dimension is, the vertical distance is 5 centimeter and the horizontal distance is 30 centimeter. If you cut this size of retroreflective tape and paste it, then this will comply with the minimum area which should be covered, that is 150 centimeter square. That is only for the one retroreflective tape. So whatever we get from the manufacturer, so that is always 5 centimeter only, but this 30 centimeter we have to measure and we have to cut. If it is more than 30 centimeter, no problem, but make sure that it is not less than 30 centimeter. Now there is also one requirement for the distance between the two retroreflective tapes. Now as you can see here, there are two retroreflective tapes whose center is marked. These red lines are the center of the retroreflective tape, so the distance between both the centers should be at least 80 centimeter approx. It should be there. It should not be more than 80 centimeter. It should be approx 80 centimeter. If it is near, no problem, but make sure that it should not go more. So this was about retroreflective tape. Now the another thing is lifeboat hull. This is also comes under monthly inspection, and this is the most important inspection. So here we will check all the hull area. There should be no cracks or no dent in any of the part of the lifeboat hull. We will have a thorough inspection of the lifeboat from the top and from the bottom area. Similarly, this fitting also comes under lifeboat. So this is the light, canopy light, which you can see here. You can see that in this light there is a moisture accumulation. So after the renewal of the light, this is the new light. So inspection is to be done to inspect like these things in which you can PSC can detain your ship. So always make sure that you inspect and rectify these things well in time. So this is why we do the inspection, to rectify this and take corrective actions. So other than the canopy light, the cabin searchlight and the searchlight which we have, cabin light and the searchlight, this also should be inspected. And in lifeboat hull also, this window glasses also come. So make sure that this window glasses are all kept clean and no moisture accumulation or no seawater accumulation or salt deposition. So always make sure that they are clean from outside as well as inside. So this was about the lifeboat hull. Now I will come to rudder and tiller. So as you can see here, that rudder condition, you should always inspect that there is no dent or there is a protection guard on the propeller and it's in good condition working. And this is the tiller. So you have to make sure that you try out the tiller monthly and make sure that you grease wherever the turning areas wherever required. So you have to try out this emergency steering monthly. So other than this, we have becketed ropes or lifelines. So we have to inspect this also. So as you can see here, this black color ropes. So there is a requirement of these ropes that it should be 16 mm and it should be buoyant lines. So either they will be black color or they will be similar to this and they will be having a floating aid on it. So these are the becketed lines. And other than this, we have lifeboat skates to inspect. So as you can see here, this portion, these are the lifeboat skates. So make sure that there is no cracks in this. As you can see in this picture, there is a crack on this skate, one of the rubber padding. So make sure that you inspect it thoroughly. So after lifeboat skates, we have inspection of safety belts and hand bends. So let us see what is this. Now this safety belts, all you can see here, make sure that they are connected and not entangled or any knot is not there. And there is a requirement as per CDI that they should always be in contrast colors. Now this is orange color, so the next one is blue color, then again orange, then blue. Similarly, so that when two persons are sitting, there should be no confusion that who will take which strap. That is why it is a requirement that you should always have the seat belts of contrast color. It's not required that it should be orange or blue. It can be black or yellow also. And also this cushioning, you can see here, foam pad. So this foam pad should also be there in the lifeboat. They should not be missing or they should not be damaged. So that is very important thing. And this foam pad, it's a requirement that it should be of height of 50 mm, at least 50 mm. So this should be there with a flame retardant cover, or it should be of a flame retardant material. So the next thing we will check is the embarkation ladder and access gates. See, embarkation ladder and access gates, this is a 3 monthly requirement, but it comes in a monthly requirement, but there is no checking of the ladder. I will tell you what you need to check in this. So in this, you have to make sure that it is covered. Monthly, you have to make sure it is covered. And the D shackles which are there, you have to make sure that the D shackles which are there connected at the end of this ladder, you have to make sure that the D shackle and the rope passing through the D shackle, they are not getting damaged because of the seawater which is there on the deck. Because as you can see here, it is above the deck, but some of the embarkation ladders are kept on the deck. So there are chances that the ropes which are on the deck will get rotten because of the seawater or whatever water is there on the deck, the dirty water. So you have to make sure that the rope doesn't get damaged. Other than this, we also have to inspect this embarkation gates which are there. You have to make sure that it is not, the pins are not frozen. So you have to grease them and inspect them regularly on a monthly basis. So the next inspection is air support system and water spray system. So every month you have to check the air support pressure. So this is applicable for tankers only. So you have to check the bottle pressure. It should be the pressure should be sufficient and it should match with the working pressure of the lifeboat air bottles. Similarly, for water spray system, it is a 3-monthly requirement to try out the water spray system, but to check whether the valve is operating or not, that should be there in monthly inspection. So the last one is lifeboat equipments inventory. So this is, I have highlighted red because this is one of the most important thing what a third officer does. So in this equipment list, you can see here buoyant oars, crutch and port hooks, then buoyant bailer, bucket, survival manual. So all this are a part of lifeboat equipments. Then this painter, sea anchor. So this all comes under monthly inventory. So you have to make sure that it is there inside the lifeboat. And then hatchet, then make sure that the hatchet is sharp. Then freshwater tank, 3 liter per person, 500 ml pack. Then this is the dipper with lanyard. Then drinking vessel, food ration, 10,000 kilojoules per package. So you have to make sure that it is sufficient for all the people. Then the pyrotechnics, make sure they are not expired. Then the electric torch with 1 spare set of battery and spare bulb. This is very important. Make sure that the battery is not expired, because I have inspected many times. I have got that the battery has a expiry date. So make sure that it is not expired. Then we have a daylight signaling mirror. Then this is the table for life-saving signal, whistle, first aid outfit. So it also has expiry. So make sure that it doesn't expire. Then anti-sickness tablet also has expiry. Then seasickness bag and then jackknife. Make sure it is not rusted or frozen. Then tin opener, also it should not be rusted. Then the rescue boat, buoyant rescue point attached to 30 meter of buoyant line. Then manual pump. This is very important. You have to try out monthly basis. You have to make sure that it is taking the suction, because most of the ships it is fitted, but if you don't try out, maybe it will not take suction because of some choke or something. Then fishing tackle tool set. This is engine tool set. Then portable fire extinguisher, the dry powder 2 kg. So you have to make sure that you inspect this extinguisher also monthly basis. Then searchlight, I already told about. You have to try out this searchlight with battery. Then radar reflector. Some radar reflectors have expiry, so make sure that it doesn't expire. And then TPA, that is thermal protective aid. Then we have a rainwater collector. And then buoyant line for rescue boat. This is very important. Make sure that the length is 50 meter and make sure the condition of the rope is good. Then other than this, we have other things for inspection. Now this was all about monthly inspection. Now let me come to quarterly inspection. In quarterly inspection, as I told, there will be inspection of embarkation ladder and access gates. So here you have to, in the 3 monthly inspection, you have to open up this cover and you have to lay this embarkation ladder on deck. You have to inspect thoroughly whether any signs of damage on the ropes are getting toned, or any strands coming out, or it is getting rot because of some seawater or any because of the sunlight. So make sure that this area, which is thimble area, it should not get damaged, because these are exposed to deck. So normally what people do is, when they are exposed to the deck, they put a wooden box or wooden material so that they don't touch the deck. So they will get protected. They will be protected. And some of the company requirement tells that they have to paint the D shackles red in color along with the thimble. Make sure there is no rust. So this was about the embarkation ladder. The second thing for quarterly inspection is the lifeboat water spray equipment. So this we need to try out on a quarterly basis. So whenever we lower the lifeboat and maneuver the lifeboat, that time we try out the sprinkler system. Most of the sprinkler system are clutched with the engine. So whenever you run the engine, the sprinkler will automatically start the moment you open one valve which is there for which connects the engine pump to the sprinkler. So this you have to try out. Now when you try out this, you have to make sure that all the nozzles are working, nothing is choked. And after trying out of the water spray system, you have to make sure that there is a connection for freshwater rinsing. So you have to connect there and you have to apply. You will be having some designated hose supplied by the yard to connect here to the one end to the ship, and then you start freshwater and rinse the nozzles so that there is no accumulation and choking because of the salt deposition inside the lines. So this was about the quarterly inspection. So the third thing is the quarterly inspection of sea anchors. Now sea anchors is the only lifeboat equipment which is inspected in quarterly inspection. So sea anchor is one of the important thing. You have to make sure that the rope is not rotten or damaged because of the moisture, and there is a swivel. So this swivel, when I inspected in one ship, this was completely rusted and it was not at all moving, it was frozen. So make sure that you regularly inspect this and derust this and apply proper greasing and make it well lubricated so that it is moving and not frozen. So this was about quarterly inspection for the sea anchor. And it is not recommended to put this inside a garbage bag, because when you go in cold area and then hot area, then some moisture accumulation, because of that this ropes get damaged. That is what it is recommended. So this was about sea anchor. So after quarterly we go for 6 monthly inspection. In 6 monthly inspection we will understand performance test of RR tape. So I have already explained this in my previous videos of life jacket and immersion suit. So it is the same thing. You have to check on a 6 monthly basis the RR tapes performance test. So if you can see here, this RR tapes, retro reflective tapes, you have to make sure that you have to apply some water here, and then you have to keep one retro reflective new tape beside that, and you have to apply torch with a distance of 10 meter, and you have to see whether they are showing same illumination or same intensity of brightness. So if it is not, it is let's say if it is faded, so you have to change it. So this is a 6 monthly inspection, but if you have any doubt, you can renew that immediately also. So this was about 6 monthly, and other than this, it is recommended to renew the electric torch battery every 6 monthly. Okay, electric torch battery to be changed. So, and make sure that when you change the battery have expiry date, so make sure that it is not expired. So this was about 6 monthly. Now we will come to 5 yearly. 5 yearly inspection, we will be having lifeboat air bottle pressure testing. So let me tell you that I am only on lifeboat equipments and fittings. So I am on the first part of the inspection. So whatever is related to this things, so that is why I have completed till 5 yearly. I have came to 5 yearly. So since lifeboat air bottle is a fitting which is there in the lifeboat, so that is why it comes under 5 yearly inspection, the pressure testing. So make sure that whenever you do the pressure testing of the lifeboat air bottles, so all these valves which are there, the charging valve, the exhaust valve, make sure that these valves are also pressure tested, because sometimes you will see that this charging valves, or which are the exhaust valves, this sometimes leaks. So always make sure that when you give it for pressure testing, or when you land it, you make sure that they pressure test this connections also. So this is very important. So this was all about 5 yearly inspection. So guys, we have successfully completed the monthly inspection of lifeboat equipments and fittings. We now know what to inspect and what to check. So we have successfully completed the first part of this video. Now in my next video, I'll be covering the lifeboat davits, launching and recovery arrangements. So guys, I hope you have got some knowledge after watching this video. So guys, if you like this video, please like, subscribe and comment, and thanks for watching guys.